Hey, thanks for joining the video. So what I'm going to show you is how to manipulate that's my cross, sorry, these flowers right here. I'm going to get out of this cross so I don't mess up and get it. Ooh, yes, please. Okay, so all you have to do, this little bundle is SVG. I put it this way so you can change colors, you can change whatever you want. I grouped everything together so that you don't accidentally move something on here and mess up the whole flower and then have a problem getting it back. You can always do Control Z, or like here I messed up. You can see I just moved that one. So I'm gonna do Control Z to undo what I did, and boom, it's back. So here I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna group it because apparently I didn't group that one. So with these, you can actually change the colors, you can change the sizes. So what I would do to keep the shape, you have to hold the shift key down and grab one of these little boxes that come around it once you select it. And you can maximize, minimize, however big or small you want it. And it's really that easy to do that for that, but just make sure you hold the shift key down, because if you don't, it'll make it wonky like that. And then Control Z, I'm going to undo it, put it back where it was. Now to change the color, just make sure you highlight it. And you click over here where it says Fill under Appearance. And if you don't have this over here, go up to Windows, and then right there's Appearance. And you could just click on that, and then it'll put it over here for you. It's not going to lock it in here. It'll actually do it just like this and give you a lot more options as well, like the brush type and compound path. We won't get into all that. But mine's over here, and I'm pretty sure when you set up Illustrator, it's pretty much all automatically right there. I think it's like a default. Anyway, let's get back to it. So Fill, you just click on it, and these are all the colors you can change it to. Now, I have Googled and I found this, and it is amazing. I love it. I use this all the time, but it gives you the hex code for a bunch of different colors. And over here on the left, you can see you can do black, whites. I mean, there's whites, purples, cyan. I don't really know how to say that. You get these little pop-ups, close it, and just keep going. But it gives you so many great colors to play with. And if you want like a palette, because if you're like me, it's really hard for me to get my colors together, just Google. You can find color palettes. Like I use, let me show you. I use these retro colors all the time. And I Googled it and I got this awesome palette right here. It is great. And I'll try to put that either on a PDF and send it to you through when you buy, or I'll probably just copy the link and put it at the bottom of my YouTube page or the YouTube description. But anyway, those are great. All you gotta do is just Google color palettes or color wheel or color pretty much anything, and make sure you always put hex code. And to use the hex code, let me show you. I'll bring this back over. So this right here, this EC00FO, that is the hex code. So I'm going to grab that code and I'm going to go back into Fill, and then right here, see where it's the number sign? That's the hex code. So we're going to do the EC00F0, and I hit enter. Sometimes it brings that up. Just exit out, and there it is. It changed it to that. See this one right here? It changed it to that color. And sometimes I accidentally put in a different one, and it gives me some crazy color and is actually better than what it was. But as you can see, also sometimes when you put in the hex codes, it doesn't come up with that.
Get that. Okay.
Sorry. It doesn't, that's my watch. It doesn't come up with the exact color. I mean, that doesn't look like that color at all. Let me make sure I put it right. EC00FO. That was what I put. But it's a lot different looking than that. So you'll have to kind of play around. You can also, once you choose a color, you go in here and it gives you these little slides, and you can manipulate them that way. Like you can make it more purple. You can make it a lighter purple or blue. And then you just keep playing with it and you can find a really cool color to put it. And again, remember, you can always do Control Z to undo or go up here to edit and do undo color. And then just keep clicking the undo color until you get back to the one that you wanted. That's pretty easy. Let's see though. Now, if you want to use one of these in your design, just one, not all of them. You grab one, like that one. Control C for copying, or right click and copy. And then open up a separate window, which I already have, but we'll do it so you can see the information. All I do, I always click letter. And over here, I usually leave this as is because I already have it set up. But the color mode, I like to do RGB. I just like the colors of the RGB. You can do the CMYK if you want. It really doesn't matter. It's just, I like the RGB better. It's easier. And I like to do inches because I don't understand pixels yet, like the sizing and all that. So I do inches. And then I just hit create and boom, there's my page. And then I do Control V to paste mine, or right click and paste. And then here I can manipulate, as you know, this size by holding the shift key. Make sure you hold the shift key so that you can manipulate it easy and it won't mess up the actual design. So here we go. Now you see how there's a white spot, which I didn't notice when it was small. So these are all grouped together. I'm going to ungroup them. Click there, go here. Oh, I got another group. It's just the petals. So I'm going to ungroup again. Okay, there we go. And this one, just to cover up that, because this right here goes behind it anyway, I'm going to use my little selection tool, my direct selection tool, and I'm going to make this guy a little bit fatter. You see how it turns like a curve at the bottom? That means you can make a curve out of whatever you're clicked on, which I did. And you won't be able to notice that because there's so many, you won't be able to notice it at all. See, you can't even tell it's different than the others. It's easy. Now, we'll show you something. So, like, if you want to make the outline of everything a little bit more defined, just uncheck this circle because we don't want to do that. You can come in here, and what I like to do, just so you see the petals better, is hit the black, and then come over here, and now you see it looks a lot better. I love that. But let's say the lines on the outside are too much, just adjust. You have to do is adjust the stroke, and then it'll, like, let's say, sometimes I'll do 0.025, and then it blends in a little bit better. It's smaller. It kind of looks like it's just like a shadow or something. I like that a lot better. So just remember about that. So you can change it whatever color you want. Sometimes I'll do it a little bit darker than the inside color, just to give it a little bit of, I don't know, artistic effect, I guess. So now I'm going to go back in because it is easy to mess up get it all out of sync if you don't group it all together, especially when you're sizing it. Sometimes you'll grab a petal by accident and yank it out. And then you'll do undo, which is not a big deal, but still, it's just easier to group it all. So here you go. There's your petal. Oops, sorry about that. And there's your petal right here. Not your petal, your flower. All you do now, to make it a PNG, you do File, Export, Export As. And then you find where you're going to put it, which I'm going to put it right here in the flower bundle thing I have. And I'm going to name mine Flower 2, because as you can see, I already got Flower 1. And then hit Export. Now, if you want it a JPEG or a DXF or any of these others, just hit this little drop down that says Save as Type and choose what you want. I want the ping, so I'm going to go for the ping. And then I'm going to hit Export. So this window is really important. You need to make sure that you got the resolution correct, which is high resolution, 300 ppi, sorry. The aliasing, just leave that as is. It's usually on the type optimize hinted. That's what I always use. The preview background color, this is what you really want to pay attention to. You want to make sure it's transparent. If you just want the flower. Now, if you want the white background, like you're going to advertise it on your site or something, which these you can't sell as the digital, but if you want to advertise it on your site, then just use the white background, or even the black. You can do black too. So this little box will show you exactly what it looks like. But I want the transparent because all I want is the actual flower. So I'm going to click OK. And then boom. Okay. And there you go. Now you have a ping. I'll open it for you so you can see, it'll look just like this because you got your artboard behind it. But if I pull it over here, you'll see it is just a flower. There's nothing behind it. There's no background. It's just a flower. And that's how you do it. That's how you do a ping. Now, you can also do a bundle of flowers too. So you make this smaller and do like a little bouquet. And, oops, I did not use my shift key. There we go, I made it smaller. Now I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to change the outside colors. But to do that, you can see I have this little circle inside. I have it grouped in there. So I'm going to ungroup it. See? Oh. So the bad thing about that, I'm going to group it back. I did Control Z, undo. So I'm going to ungroup it now. So now I can just click on one petal if I wanted. I'm going to select the whole thing, and then I'm going to hold my shift key down, unselect the center, and group it. Because I just want to make it easier on myself with changing the color. Because if you don't, then you'll have to choose each individual petal to do it. You don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. So I'm going to make this a different color. I'm going to go for white. Like a daisy. There you go. And you have the black outline, so it really makes it pop. I love that. Absolutely love that. Now I'm going to go back in and group it so that I don't get this circle out of the center. I'm going to put it right there. Now it's in front of it, but I'm like, maybe I want to put it behind it. I do like it in front. I'm going to leave it that way. But just to show you, all you have to do is select it, right-click it, arrange, and send to back. And boom, it goes behind it. There's also another way you can do it. If you click it and go here to your layers and then expand your layers, and this little blue box is what you have selected. So I have the white selected. I can take the white and pull it in front. If you pull it above the other flower, it'll put it in front. If you pull it behind, it goes behind. So you can do it that way too, but it's just easier just to right click and arrange it instead of going in here and trying to find it. Especially if you have 100 million flowers in here and you got to scroll through just to find that blue dot. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've gone through when I have a bunch in there and I miss the blue dot. And it's just not fun. It takes forever. You can also name these layers. Like you can go in here, right? Or double click, sorry. And then do pink flower, and enter, double click, white flower. Now if you're using Cricut to do anything with this, to cut these out or do a print and cut, it is nice to layer these, and you'll see them on the right side of the Cricut design space. So sometimes it's a good idea. I don't ever do it. I just let it be because it's just a little bit more time to do stuff. So anyway, you can keep going and make a bunch of flowers and then do a vine. I like to do it with the line. So just draw a line. I do it straight first. And then come in here with the direct select tool. And then you can manipulate it. So like if you want it curved, go there, put it up there. Then you can make it curved. Oh, well, so it didn't give me my little option for the curve effect. So I'm going to go over here to my little, that's an anchor point, but if you just click it and hold your mouse click, and then go down here to anchor point tool. This is your curve tool. See how it curves? And then you can curve it. And then I'll go over here. We're going to make this vine green because most vines are green. There we go. It's green. Now, we don't want it tiny, like the stroke. We want it bigger. I'm going to go for a 1. See how that looks? It doesn't look bad. I might want to go a little bit thicker. I'm going to put this behind the flower so it looks like it's growing out of the flower. The flower's growing out of it. Let's go for 4. There we go. That looks better. That stroke looks better. Now, if you're cutting something, the stroke is not going to matter. But if you're doing a picture, like a ping, then it will come out just like this and it looks great. So this is how you can manipulate the file. And then you can also save, like if you do this, you can save it as a PDF. I mean, not a PDF. Well, you can save it as a PDF if you want to, but if an SVG file, just go up to File, Save As, and then right here put the name in, SVG, and there you go. And just make sure you have your right folder that you want to put it in as well. And that's all you do. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message me through Etsy. I'll be happy to answer anything you have. Thank you.